hell did you get a TV show?
Hi, it's me, Steve Grillo. That guy over here. That's me, Steve Grillo. Uh, how's everybody doing? At my apartment in Hell's Kitchen. Going live, say what's up to all my peeps and my friends and my fans. I don't like to say fans because I don't know, it's weird. Fans are fans. You people are just friends and family that watch the show and support me every week, and it's so much appreciated, especially during this bizarre time we're going through. Every day's a new movie. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do, what to say. So things have been going kind of good, a little weird, little, I'm trying not to be angry because I can get angry real quick about a lot of hypocrisy of the rules and shit that's going on. But I am blessed to know that people in my family and my friends are all safe and they're good, knocking wood. And I want to thank the Lord Jesus. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Thank you for blessing us all with safety in this time of craziness. And I'll get off that and get right to the point. So I was at a friend's birthday party a couple of weeks ago, and her friend came up to me and said, "Are you the Howard Stern guy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." She's like, "Well, do you know Billy Mira?" I was like, "I know of Billy Mira, but I don't know Billy Mira. Or, at least I didn't think I did." And she's like, "Well, he's a really good friend somehow or another." We started talking, and boom, here he is, Billy Mira.
What's happening, Grillo?
What's going on, dude? I try not to do too much research because I like to find out everything on the air for real. But I did happen to call a couple people, and the two people I called couldn't say, like, they were just, everything they said about you was like wonderful. And one of them, which I will, you'll understand at the end, will be accredited, the fact that he said you were funny, and it wasn't Jackie the Joke Man. Tim Sabian said you were a wonderful human being.
Oh, that's great.
And then also I spoke to Stuttering John today, and he didn't say you were wonderful, but he did say you were funny. And coming out of Stuttering John's mouth, considering that, most comedians won't say other comedians are funny.
Right.
John, they had nothing but awesome things to say about you. And I know your name, and I know very little about you, but I know you're extremely talented.
That's weird.
Yeah.
At least you know my talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you and I worked together.
No.
You were the years before me on the show.
Yeah.
But we always knew of each other. It's like one of those things like, do you know Steve Grillo? Yeah, I know Steve, but I don't know a lot about Steve.
Yeah.
And I used to hear your name all the time, just like I'm sure you heard my name over the years.
Yeah, well, that's why when you're, I don't know the status of the relationship with your friend, but she was a very pretty girl. And I also heard you had a very amazing track record with beautiful women because you're apparently a talented singer. On top of everything else, if you're a rock star, girls just they melt like cheese.
Thank God, I'm very fortunate. If it wasn't for that, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah,
but the girl you're referring to was a girlfriend of mine from almost a long time back in the '90s. We went out for a couple of years, and that's why I think it was you text me and said, "You know this girl named Wendy?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Very well." I said, "I know her a long time ago." And then I kind of said, "Oh, I heard you stopped into, you met up with Grillo," and it was kind of funny. But yeah, we went out a long time ago, and it's a small world. I always say it's a small world, and it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
My wife, especially with COVID.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But yes, I do. I'm very fortunate in that aspect, the women aspect. My wife is very beautiful. She's crazy. But
is your wife listening right now?
No.
Because Stuttering John had he said he was obsessed with your ex-girlfriend.
That was another ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. You filthy animal. I love you. We're just getting to know each other, but suddenly you're my best friend.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, we hang out, I'm the chick guy. I'm like KC. But yes, he's talking about, he knew an ex-girlfriend of mine named Taz that I went out with a long time ago. So that's who he's referring to.
Yeah. So let's start from the beginning. So like I could have done my research, but I'd rather do my research with you. You were in a band. You grew up in Long Island. Is that correct?
Yes. Grew up in Long
Okay.
Island.
So you were like you were part of the '80s Long Island hair band like explosion.
Yes, exactly. And just like John was, that's how we originally met. We met in a rock club back in, I want to say, 1989, and we shared a dressing room. And at that time, John had just burst onto the show. And I remember I was working nights at a job, and I remember hearing his name and realized there's this guy from Long Island, Stuttering John, but it's really John Melendez, and he plays in this band. And I think it was like Rock Slide or something at the time. Yeah, and then,
Mund, was it Mund?
I think it became Mund, and then became like something at Joe's.
Yeah, no, but I will tell you straight up, and I'm surprised. I would like to bring up the fact that your experience with John back then, because John was just, people either loved him because from the show, or you got to know him and he pissed you off and whatever. But I will say, John's first album, I know every word to every song. I respect his talent. He was very talented. I really do think that he had the ability to blow up, and I do think that Howard did not want him to become that successful as a musician. And being in the music business, excuse me. Do you think that happened? Because he signed to Atlantic Records. He had a great video, which included Sting, Gilbert Gottfried, Gene Simmons, Talk My Way Out of It. Like the song was great. It was definitely a commercial song. Being in the music business, do you think that Howard pulled some strings to hold him back?
I can't say whether or not that happened. What I will say is that I think that John was. I was very proud of John. I was, in this industry, there's a lot of jealous people out there. I was never one of those people. First of all, in his original band, my buddy Mike DeMeo actually sang with him, and he was a great singer. And I remember when they first got together, he asked me, he goes, do you think I should play with John? And he was doing his own thing. I said, absolutely. But to go now jump forward when John got his own deal as Stuttering John and really did it under his own personality, I thought that was brilliant. And I thought that was perfect. Now, as far as Howard, how he might have stepped in front of, maybe blocked. I don't know if I can curse on here, but kind of.
Say what you want. Dildo, cock, cunt, pussy, whatever you want. Go ahead, Billy.
Maybe, who knows? But I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know. I don't know if Howard. I don't remember him really promoting the album all that much. If I remember that, yeah, kind of.
Okay, good. But do you think by going by the name of Stuttering John, that stifled his competition? Well, it stifled his ability to blow up, because now he's Stuttering John, and now he's going on competitive radio stations, and that's a Howard Stern name.
But that's got nothing to do with that, and then it's like everything else. You got to take the good with the bad. In certain situations, that's going to be something that helps you dramatically. I can tell you from my own career how that was at one time before Howard went to Sirius. That was a huge thing for everybody, was to be able to go out on the road and go to all the Howard affiliate cities.
But what about the non-affiliate cities that weren't? And then now your song's getting some momentum, and now you're getting they won't play you because you wonder why they don't have Howard Stern in the morning, and now you're playing a Howard Stern guy. No, we're not going to play him.
In a way, I could see that, but I also see a lot of the stations, especially outside of New York, across the country, probably wanted to kiss up somehow and have a little piece of that, kind of like what Jay did. Jay hired John. I mean, let's face it, John was very good as the announcer for the Tonight Show, but got that gig because he was on the Howard Stern show.
And so, Jay knew what he was doing, and it was smart. But and I will just not say it was a Jay thing. I know John so well, because he, like, to me, it was like the older brother that would never let me speak, or would always, But
we've gone, it was a lot of fun.
We've gone past that now in our relationship, which I really, really appreciate, because it was always like I'm always going to be on the second tier level, and now I feel like I'm actually we talk on the same level. But he always did look out for me and shit like that. But John was brilliant at that. And I think I forgot what I was going to say, dude. I think there was so much going through my head. We were talking about John and the Leno thing. He has the ability and the personality and the intelligence to know when he meets the right person, he says the right thing. And he met the right people, and then it brought him up the rung to the Leno show. It didn't just fall in his lap. They weren't just like, oh, let's just get Stuttering John. John worked his way to that point.
100%.
There's no doubt. Like, and then it could be conceived as conniving or bullshit, but it's called entertainment business. And John is brilliant at a lot of things, and he was brilliant at that. And he knew who to talk to and work his way up. And he earned and got to Jay Leno. Oh, Billy.
Sorry about that.
Are you a professional?
I know.
Is this romper room? What are we doing here?
Actually, that's what I used to call my room back in the day.
I'm kidding. Dude,
I have my phone. I have my phone here.
I'm surprised my phone's not blowing up right now.
And I have a drink I made, and you may hear in the background. I got some contractors working on the downstairs of my house.
It's all good. I got four of my friends in my living room because you can't like go down to the bars or they'll shut you down. I have like a lovely roof deck. People come down, have a cocktail, they go back up to my roof. It's great. Cheers to you, Billy.
Cheers to you, brother. And
thank you for coming on my show. Nice to finally officially cheers, Solancha.
For us to actually kind of meet and get to know each other finally.
Yeah. So John, he earned his spot at the Tonight Show. It wasn't just given to him because like Leno went, oh, let's steal Stuttering John. John worked his way to that point, and he did it. And I wasn't even there. I just know John. And it wasn't just something he just was given. He earned it. And Leno said, well, why the fuck not? And yeah. I think that was a great move on both their parts. And also it got under Howard's, burned Howard's ass. But you know what? Pay people. Yeah. It's the same thing where I left. Like, not that I was that important, like John or anything, but why I left, it was like, pay me. And it was like, no. I was like, see ya. Right. Not that I left. I wound up going to the Sopranos and shit, but like, it wasn't like, that's why I left. But John, like, pay him. Give people money. They were making money hand over fist. Pay your employees, but that's not the way it works in corporate radio. It's like, always keep a good man down. Always remember that there's someone ready to take your job right now. We have a stack of resumes right here. You going to complain? Oh, right. No.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Someone has a question for Billy. Okay. Have Billy tell a story about Frank and High Pitch.
Oh, that was actually my introduction to the Stern Show. If it's what I think they're thinking of, back in 2002. That was actually my introduction to the show, where I claimed to be Ozzy Osbourne, and we pranked Eric saying that he was calling Ozzy, thinking it was the real Ozzy, but it was really me. And Eric was threatened by Howard to be kicked off the show, and that was how everything started for me. But that was a good memory. That was like years ago.
So one of my best friends, Roy McDonald, who's my partner in Bright Shot, who's changing the world right now with UVC lights and how we're going to operate in the entertainment business for the future. He's very good friends with a man called Mark Hudson. And Mark Hudson was part of the Hudson brothers back in the 70s. They followed Cher's show, and Mark Hudson was also the music director for Joan Rivers' show. And he's also really close with Sharon and Ozzy. And since Ozzy's my end-all be-all. So he does a very awesome impression. Like, he's a music producer. He wrote Living on the Edge. He did a lot of all this shit with Aerosmith. His resume is like extensive, but he does like a really great impression of Ozzy. And one of my favorite stories is him sitting with Sharon and Ozzy's trying to tell Sharon that Mark's going to produce his next album. And he's like, Sharon, Mark's going to, and Sharon goes, no, he's not. And Mark's like sitting right there. He's like, Sharon took a plate, broke it over Ozzy's head.
This guy, Mark, he's going to produce my album for me, Yeah. Don't tell me I can't do it, And
yeah. So, but I would love to have both of you on and do an Ozzy impersonation.
Ozzy off.
I used to do that
I used to do that with Jim Brewer. We used to do Dooley and
No,
Ozzy.
no, Mark has it down dead, and he's really good friends with Sharon and Ozzy. And I at some point I'd like to orchestrate that because
I'm all down for doing it because if you can put it together, I'm in, man.
yeah.
His voice is kind of doing this right now.
So Ozzy, what do you think about what's going on with this COVID shit? I know you're already a germaphobe and stuff. Like, are you just like like a safe room or?
I think COVID would be a great name for my next album.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Yeah, it'd be called COVID-14 because it'd be like the 14th of I'm sorry, 15. Like the 15th album I put out,
Yeah. So now, do you see your kids, your grandkids? Are you afraid of them with getting COVID?
I can't see anymore. I see stars.
So Ozzy, like when you go to the doctor's office, because I know you're a germaphobe. I read your book, Ask Dr. Ozzy. Like, do you virtual?
I'm such a germaphobe. I don't even have sex with Sharon anymore. No, because she goes on all those shows with those catty girls, and who knows what I'm going to catch, man.
Yeah, but haven't you caught everything already?
I'm about to catch the bus. I'm gonna catch a cold.
Dude, seriously, Ozzy Osbourne's one of my when I was 11 and I heard Blizzard of Oz, it changed my mind about everything.
Yeah, so that
crazy train like stopped me in my tracks.
Yeah, it was. I had a friend of mine growing up, John Murphy, and I remember the first time I ever heard it, I was at his house, and all of a sudden I hear the beginning of I Don't Know, and that sound.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is that? And I wasn't even. I was a young kid. I didn't even know what how much music Black Sabbath besides Iron Man and Paranoid.
Let's hands down. Let's admit the truth. Tony Iommi created heavy metal. There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
There's no doubt about the guy who created the metal riff was Tony Iommi.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I agree.
But Bill Ward, like the drums and Ozzy's vocals, it was. I didn't realize how far back they went. It was like 1968 where they were playing music like that where no one ever heard it, and it was. I read all the books and I'm a student of the whole thing, and it's just they are responsible for heavy metal.
Yeah, because originally they were a band called Earth that really started out as a blues band, and they were just playing bars basically.
Yeah. Well, Ozzy. He's the only one that had a mic and a
PA system.
PA system, yeah.
It's kind of funny because that's like the Van Halen story too. David Lee Roth kind of got the gig with Van Halen because I had a PA system.
Yeah. Wait, I heard that you did a good David Lee Roth.
Yeah, doing all right time with David Lee Roth live here, live in front of your naked steaming ears with Steve Grillo.
Yeah. Diamond Dave. Diamond Dave. This is a great story. Diamond Dave had a career change where he started to become a lounge singer, where he had the lounge act, and he came on Howard to promote it. And growing up, a kid is in the '80s, like Van Halen. David Lee Roth is like a god. I was more of an Ozzy heavy metal person, but you can't ignore Van Halen for who they were. And David Lee comes on to promote his new lounge act at Foxwood Casinos. And his manager says to me and Stuttering John, you guys want to come? We'll get you a room, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow, cool. So a friend of mine from Canada rolled me one of those baseball joints. Like it looked like a bat.
It's called a blunt.
No, it wasn't a blunt. It was a
blunt, my friend.
No. Well, I can go back and tell you the first blunt I smoked was with Tupac, but that's another story. So it was one of those ones that just came to like a giant head. I'd never seen anything like it. So I was saving it. So now me, Stuttering John, are going to see David Lee do his lounge act at Foxwoods. And we go backstage. And I had this giant baseball bat joint stuck in my sleeve. And we go backstage. And I'm sitting there. It was like backstage, and there was like a little backstage. And Dave wanted nothing to do with the people that were in the backstage. So we went to another room. It was me, Stuttering John, and like 3 other people. And I break out the joint. And Dave's like, whoa, yeah, now we're talking, man. There we go. So they're smoking the joint. And Dave's talking about everything. Yeah, you know, ice cream, man. During the summer, you're smoking and then you're eating ice cream and it dribbles down your hand and this and that. I'm like, and he's holding the joint and he's talking and talking.
Yeah.
At first, I'm like, oh my god, I'm smoking a joint with David Lee, and all of a sudden, like 5 minutes later, I'm like, yo, motherfucker, pass the joint, bro.
No, he's called I'm Bogarting it. You know, that's called I'm a David Lee Bogart. Yeah, that's what he does.
I was like, yo, bro, shut up.
I didn't get busted in Washington Square Park for no reason, my friend. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Who's got a joint for a legend?
I'm like, it went from, oh my god, I'm smoking a joint with David Lee to, yo, shut the fuck up, motherfucker. Pass that shit.
Right.
But he was very cool. And then we went back to his room and he went to bed. He didn't want any part of it. You know, I get it. He was like, he's been down that road so many times. He was just like, I want to go to bed. But he was like, enjoy my friends and family. Go drink and I'm going to bed. So it was nice. He was cool. It was a nice experience.
See that? How many people can say they passed the joint, smoked the joint with Diamond David Lee Roth?
No. My first blunt I ever smoked was with Tupac. I've been smoking since I was like 11. But I worked at a nightclub, and him and Mickey Rourke were filming a movie, and they came to the club, and I was like, this is my first never judge a book by its cover moment.
Mm-hmm.
So Pac's got the Thug Life tattoo. He's like all about making money, being a criminal. And I really just like, that annoyed me. And him and Mickey Rourke, I was in charge of the VIP room at Club Expo. And I had to take care of him and Mickey Rourke. They were shooting a movie. And Pac came in and I was like, I got to take care of this criminal, really? Like, whatever. And he was, please and thank you. Signed every autograph, took every picture. He couldn't been, I was like, why is he being so nice? I was like, mad.
You wanted to hate him.
I wanted to hate him. And
you wanted to hate him, Grillo.
He was being so nice. I was like, mother. So then, and then him and his friends would smoke. Like, I smoked like Bronx barbecue weed. Like, it sucked. But it got you high. But it's just like, Billy.
I thought I had it all.
One more demerit, you're going to detention.
One more demerit. Let me see, wait. Oh my God, here we go. I got my kid walking around behind me. Look at him. He's trying to get stuff.
Bring him in. Tell him hello.
Dylan, come here.
What?
Oh,
come here, real quick. You want to call on?
Did you name your kid Billy?
No, Dylan.
Oh,
and you know what's weird? I was on the Howard Stern show the day he was born.
Really?
Yes, I was on Howard. We were talking about it, and I remember saying to Howard, you know, we were live, and I go, you know, I think, you know, he may come out like tonight. And then I was at Caroline's that night, and then like 1 o'clock in the morning, he came at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and the doctor that was delivering him was like, I heard you talking about it on Stern today.
Oh,
I can't
really?
believe.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it turned out she was like a huge Stern fan.
Yeah.
It was like one of those things.
Where's Dylan?
He won't come in. Dylan, come here. He gets real shy. Come here. Want to say hello? Want to say, well, come on, come over here. Come on. This is the first appearance since you were born 13 years. Come here. Just say hello. You don't want to say hello real quick?
No.
How many people are in front?
Go play Xbox.
How embarrassing is your father?
How embarrassing is my father? He wants to know. No, everybody else go inside. Go inside now.
Xbox?
No, yeah, go play Xbox.
Can I go look it up?
They're working on it.
Play outside. It's a beautiful day. Get outside.
Oh, you don't even know. They're literally working
yourself
on a whole room for him downstairs. That there's like 3 rooms that he's going to have, and you know, so now he has to sit in the living room inside and annoy everybody with the X. The kids are crazy with Xbox. If I would have known Xbox would have came out, I don't know. I would have pulled out that day. That's all I'm saying.
Can I?
No. Get out. Now that's it. That was it. You had your introduction.
How embarrassing is your father?
He wants to know. Grillo wants to know how embarrassing is your father.
Like a 10.
Like a 10. Hey, that's it. That's it. Nothing for you.
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up the new one.
Little bit.
A little bit, huh?
Little bit.
Oh, you're funny. You're funny. Real funny. Huh?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I mean, what the hell are we doing over here? I mean, Dylan, I'm trying to make you famous over here, and you see you're going outside. No, but get the hell out of here.
Where were we before all this? That was great.
Where were the Howard Stern show? This is Howard Stern show.
Sharon.
You know, it's funny. You mentioned Tim Sabian before, and
Wait, you're gonna have to close out the show because Tim Sabian. First of all, because I everybody's like, oh, you should always do research, and I'm like, I'll do the research when I meet the person. Like, it's fun to find out about them on the air. But Tim, I called Tim today, and I knew you were a good guy, but I just wanted to get a little insight. And Tim, by the way, raved about what a wonderful human being you are. But he also wanted. You're going to close out the show with a mind reader, something like some song that you sang. Read my mind.
If you could read my mind,
at the end.
What a tale you thought. Right, yeah. That was a video I shot, as a pandemic video I shot that did pretty well.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll close the show out with that because Tim, that'll be a tribute to Tim because we all love Tim and he's been nothing but good to all of us. So we're going back to shit, I lost track. That was this is too much fun. I love finding out people as we go along.
Well, how about where I went from the Howard Stern show?
Okay, but yeah, go ahead. Where'd you go? Where'd you go after that?
I started. It was crazy. So it's a really crazy story how everything evolved. So, and Tim kind of plays into it because I remember I went on. There was a show on Sirius called the Sirius Fight Club, which was the only show at the time. We're talking about 2010 now. That covered the sports of mixed martial arts. You remember at that point, it was just becoming a mainstream thing at that point. The UFC was still kind of like an independent thing. They were still broadcasting on Spike Network, and I wound up going on the Sirius Fight Club, and I wound up just kind of finding a little bit of a niche on this little show that you would find on one of the obscure channels on Sirius, and I went on there every week. And I remember I had at the time, somebody who was handling a lot of my bookings and endorsements said to me, look, I got a huge endorsement for you. I would go on every Friday and I would do a comedic rant about mixed martial arts. Well, it turns out like Sirius wanted like 85% of the money that was going to come in. So I said, you know what? I really don't have to travel into the city anymore to do this. I had just built a home studio. Maybe I'll go home and I'll start an MMA show. And because I thought I knew a lot about mixed martial arts. When I say I thought, because I worked with a guy who really knew a lot. I mean, this guy knew obscure fighters and all sorts of information, a plethora of information. So I wound up leaving at the very same time that the other co-host of the Sirius Fight Club wound up quitting over exactly what you just said before, which was money. I don't want to mention the guy's name, but he wound up coming with me. And out of my home studio, we wound up breaking a ton of huge stories that made headlines everywhere. They made every MMA news site. They made Fox. And we just kept doing it week after week. And then we wound up pairing up with this website that was out there. So every week we were breaking all these headlines. And the show was picked up by Lotus Broadcasting out in Las Vegas. And I wound up doing it for 2 years on Fox out there, which was crazy. But I have to be honest. And then we kind of did like a short stint on UFC radio, which was short-lived.
So I've been lucky enough in my life to know some people and been blessed with like good friends and stuff. So this person's wife, I did a TV pilot with. And if you're talking about the early stages of the UFC and stuff like that, I got to spend the person's wife, girlfriend, whatever. You don't have to be have fucking titles at this point. But two really good people. Noah, do you have that picture?
Oh shit!
Yeah. the natural. Like I got to spend.
That's
the night
Randy. I used to train.
His wife Mindy and I did a TV pilot together in LA, and they
crazy.
invited me to come out.
Yeah.
So like Randy, they're both really good people.
We both lived in when I went out to Vegas, I lived in a place called Southern Highlands. He lived right there as well, and I used to train in the morning. And I did a commercial for Randy. I did his, this is Billy Mira for the MMA Fight Corner on Fox Sports Radio 920. And I want to tell you, and then I would go into working out at his gym. Yeah. But I went from being at one point, being a comedian. That was the one thing I didn't like about being a comedian. When you're rolling with guys like Brewer and Artie, I was like 285 pounds at the time. It was nuts. But when I got out there, I said the first thing I went to was Randy's gym. And I got into within 6 months, because I went from Fox Sports Radio to then they were adding Fox 5 television. And I said, there's no way I'm going on TV. 285 pounds.
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm on TV now. I'm a wrestler. I should be like 156 pounds. I'm like, my belly hurts.
Yeah. So Randy was always so gracious. His place, it was, thank God. His son, Ryan, I used to talk to all the time. He did pretty
good, man.
Ryan did well. Ryan was well. He used to come on my show all the time. Yeah, Ryan was great. I thought for a second you were going to show Tito Ortiz, because I used to
Mindy. Well, that's all that I don't know. I have no contact with Jenna, but I do have who's that? Kendra Jade Rossi. I'm trying to get on. I also had Jessica Hahn.
I just became Jessica.
Jessica was always like my big sister. She always took care of me. She came on. She wouldn't come on camera, but it was like one of those things where I was already drinking for 2 hours, and Jessica called me, and she's like, I was like, "Are you gonna do my show, Jessica?" And she's like, "I have to think about it. But every time I think about things, I don't do them. So can we do this now?" And I called my producer, Noah. I was like, hold on, Jessica. Click. No, we have a show right now. Whatever you're doing, drop everything. So she would come on camera. But she's very open and about everything. And she's such a wonderful person. And I want to do more with her, but I don't like to pressure people.
Isn't it amazing, Steve, all the people that we were able to become friends with from being associated from the show, and the people that we were able to meet? That was something I felt was a real blessing, because there's a point, I don't know about you, but my life, it was until about my early 30s that happened. And Brew used to say to me, it's that moment, Hammer, that moment things happen. And it was like that moment. And then it was like everything broke, all these things, these doors start opening, and you get introduced to this person, and there was so many great people. I remember someone I got to know out in Vegas very well, and we still talk, is Mary Jo Botafuco.
Oh, you don't understand. Mary Jo and me are so tight. Like, unfortunately, the divorce, her late husband, Stu.
God
rest his soul. You understand? Remember when they went to Vegas and Stu was managing that hair salon? That was my friend Jason's hair salon.
Oh, my God.
You understand? Like, me and Mary Jo are been tight for so long. But the funny thing is, so Stu goes and manages the hair salon, and Mary Jo goes, they moved out to Vegas because of me. And I'm like,
really?
It didn't really work. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Mary Jo, we wound up,
Mary Jo is a very, very dear friend of mine.
I love Mary, and see, those are my dogs. But
wait, best title. And the weird thing is, it kind of like goes back to like my own personal issues with a narcissistic sociopath. The best title to a book: Getting It Through My Thick Head.
No, she's great.
She's a sweetheart.
Very forthright. She's very forthright. Yeah. And she's got a really great heart. And when she speaks about the whole situation, we didn't talk about that a lot. We just talked about people that we knew. And she was, it was like having her out there was like having somebody back home that used to watch me, and she would text me and she would say, "Bill, I think you did a great job on television today," or "I think your broadcast was very good." And she became like one of those, like, just like a friend, like somebody who used to just, it was comforting to have her there. She was like somebody back, and it's weird.
she's a really good person. She's a really good friend.
Yeah, I mean, I would
She's
find
caring.
very caring, very caring, very nice. And I remember also because I got homesick for a while, and the first year I was out there, and I remember I would watch, which I always think this is a weird 6 degrees of separation. I used to watch the Long Island Medium because it used to make me feel more like I was home.
Yeah.
So I'd watch it, and then I became good friends with Larry. Through Sal from watching.
Through Sal, yeah.
Through Sal.
I was like, yo, they're not together, yo. Could you hook me up a little bit, man? What's up? She gotta be lonely, man. I got a lot of spirits. I got my back.
Yeah, but I love Larry, and but Mary being out there was always great because she was like always that person I would talk to. And
I feel bad. I'm the reason she moved to Vegas, bro.
I couldn't believe when she was out there. It was like, Mary, what are you doing living out here?
Yeah, no, that was because of me, man. But wait, so I'm the guy that put Joey Buttafuoco through that day. There were two times where I influenced the cover of a newspaper. One was when the guy was going to jump off the GW.
I remember the George Washington situation.
I put that phone call through, and I put Joey Buttafuoco through. Both times I was in the office by myself. Gary and John were not around, and for me to make that executive decision to put something through could be catastrophic because it had to go through a filter, and for me to do it on my own, and I put it through, and it was bullshit. I would never be allowed to touch the phones again.
How do you screen that? How do you wind up?
I'll tell you the Joey thing. It was on every news channel, and Joey was out doing the day before. He had a news conference. I did not blah blah blah, and I heard the tone of his fucking thick Long Island accent, and I was like, and it just ruminated. And then the next day,
resonated.
Well, excuse me, Mr. Perfect. I didn't realize that.
I was just funny.
No.
They're gonna start calling you Sal.
Dude, my brain's five. My speech is five. Forget about it. Anyway, it resonated his voice, and he called in, and it's like Howard Stern show. Howard Stern show. And he's like, this is Joey Buttafuoco. I want to go on the air and say, and I was like, yeah, what's your address? And you have to kind of screen them and ask them questions. And he was like, every stupid question I could possibly ask him. I was like, what's your address in Long Island? Where did this happen? What's the name of your auto shop? He was like, boo. And the more he spoke, I went, shit, this is like Joey Buttafuoco. Transfer, Howard. I'm pretty sure this is Joey Buttafuoco. And it was. So now Joey and Mary Jo become part of the show. They're there all the time. We went to the Private Parts book party, which was at the Harley Davidson Cafe in New York. And then Dominic Barbara, the after party was at Il Cortile in Little Italy. And I'll never forget Mary Jo sitting on Joey's lap. And he goes, hey, did you hear the latest joke? Mary Jo, I heard you got a new job. Giving blowjobs on the side. And I was like,
oh, my God. He didn't really do that, did he?
Yeah.
I used to tell Mary Jo, I used to be like, man, if I ever meet him, not just because, I've heard, I don't know. I don't even want to say anything.
Yeah, he's a narcissistic sociopath, and I lived with one for 20 years. I understand.
Yeah. No,
that was the weird thing is because no one's probably going to get this far into our interview, so I can just say my ex-wife was pretty much the same thing, and she loved being friends with Mary Jo, but she wouldn't read Mary Jo's book because it was like getting it through my thick skull, living and dealing with a narcissistic sociopath. And my ex would read that. No, my ex reads voraciously every night, and but she would never read Mary Jo's book. And I was like,
yeah, that's kind of strange, right?
A little bit of home base thing.
Yeah.
So what are you up to now, Billy?
Well, I have a show. What am I up to now? Well, I'm just doing, a few shows, few and far between. But I had a show that's been doing very well. It's called Billy Mira and the Hitman. And that was kind of what I was talking about when I was in Las Vegas. I was doing this Fox show and I did it for a couple of years. And, the whole time I remember I would drive from my house to the television studio or the radio station. And I would say to myself, this is not where I'm supposed, this is not really me. It was like after about 2 years, I started meeting people. I started doing stand-up comedy out there. And I started developing an idea for, I wouldn't say a variety show, but a show that put everything that I ever did into one show. And that was where I came up with Billy Mira and the Hitman. Hitman was kind of like a nod to New York. And I thought hits. And I thought, wow, that would work out really good. I could do like this whole Italian thing, and I could come out and do impressions. I could come out and sing songs. I could do comedy. And that's where I came up with the whole concept. And when the show ended in Las Vegas, I promised myself, I said, if, not if, but when I got back to Las Vegas, it was going to be in my own theater in Las Vegas doing this show. Yeah. And I will get back to Las Vegas doing this show, and we were doing really great. I was just booking West Coast. I was booking everything from, Montana to Nevada. We were going to get back there, and I've been trying so hard. There's been a lot of hurdles with this show, developing the show. It's very unique. It's like nothing out there. I urge anybody to just go to BillyMiraandtheHitman.com. One word. Check out some of the videos, the promo videos. But it's a show that is like nothing. People say, oh, it's like nothing. It really is. It's old school Vegas entertainment. It's where we do music and all this shit. So that's really what I've been up to.
If you ever need a very good friend of mine, and I'm sure I'm going to drop this name, and I'm not dropping it to pick it up, but it's family. If you ever need anybody by the name of Mike Starr, he's family to me.
Mike Starr.
Mike Starr. I am security. Okay. I'm the midnight day man. I'm the commandant. So if you ever need anything like that,
I would. Oh yeah. Listen, I'll have everybody come out there. Yeah. I've developed even different versions of it over the past 4 or 5 years. It's been a passion of mine. It's something that I want to retire doing because I'm getting, we're all getting older now.
Not me. Look at me. I'm beautiful.
Yes, you are. Yeah. I'll kiss you.
The worst thing is like people see pictures of me. They go, dude, what happened? I'm like,
it happens that it happens.
Drugs and alcohol, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I'm sitting here drinking vodka and orange juice. Yeah. But it's like when I get back, I'd love to have. I really am a big believer in that. Having all my. I'd love to have you there. I'd love to have Mike Starr there. Yeah. Sal, and I'd love to have writers with me that wrote, and literally we were constantly revising the show every day, so that I try to always say no two shows are alike. For that very reason, so that we can, let's do a couple different lines here. All right, keep things topical, but always have like 80% of the show that's canned.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, in honor of Tim Sabian, our friend that we both love, end the show with that song that he wants you to sing.
If you could read my mind, love, what a tale my thoughts could tell, just like an old-time movie. About a ghost from a wishing well, in a castle dark or a fortress strong, with chains upon my feet. Tim, this song's for you. And I will never be set free till Howard says it's okay.
Which will never be.
Which will never be. Billy. But I will say, Howard, if it wasn't for Tim, I would have never taken that leap and gone and worked on Fox out in Las Vegas. Tim, thank you. And Tim did call me just recently. Him, Doug Goodstein. They called me on my birthday, and they had nothing but great things to say.
No, I have nothing but great things to hear about you.
Thank you.
The universe brings good people together, and we're together right now.
Yes,
and this was an awesome interview, and I can't wait to do it again. And you need anything, I got your back, yo.
Same here, Steve. Same here, brother.
Billy, and your kids were right to not come on camera. Peace, be safe, my brother, and stay in touch. You got my number. You can call me 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll probably be up anyway.
Even if I'm breathing heavy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm there. I'm there, brother. Love you, Steve.
Love you, Billy. Thank you.
You're all right, brother.